Good morning, everyone. It's Mrs. Harrison here. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Science week was excellent fun, and now we're back on to some more structured lessons of English and maths. So hopefully you're enjoying that. I know that Key Stage 1 have started with Traction Man today. That's a fantastic book. I hope you enjoy that. I'm going to read to you today Where the Wild Things Are, which is a very famous book, written and illustrated by Maurice Sendak. So if you haven't heard this book before, you're in for a treat. But if you have, I'm sure you won't mind hearing it again because it is a classic. Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind or another. You have to look really carefully at the pictures in this book because they're the best part of it, I think. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. He's gone to his bedroom there and he looks a bit grumpy. That night, in Max's room, a forest grew. You can see him there. He's walking around. It looks like his eyes are shut and you can see some trees growing around the edge, around his bed. And it grew. Now look at the floor in his bedroom. There's grass on the floor and all sorts of plants and shrubs. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. How exciting. Look at what's happened to his bedroom. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day, looking very happy there on his boat. It's even got the name Max on it, which means it's definitely private for him only. Through the day and in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. Look, Max isn't looking quite so happy now. He's got a bit of a frightened face. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all, and made him king of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." You can see them there, dancing at the moon and howling and jumping. And then they're hanging off the trees, playing a game. This monster here was the one that frightened me the most when I was a little girl. I didn't like that one there at all. And he's sitting on the back of this monster here and they're having a march through the forest and he's got his king outfit on, king of the beasts. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. I wonder where that might be. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. You can see them all there saying, "No, don't go." And they were begging him to stay. They said they loved him so much they wanted to eat him, but he went and sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day and into the night of his very own room where he found his supper waiting for him. You can see there, look, it's on the table. It looks like he's got a piece of cake and some soup, or it might be a sandwich. But he looks very relieved to be there and to see his dinner. And his room hasn't got shrubs and trees in it anymore. And his supper was still hot. That's the last line in the book. And it really makes you think. I wonder why it's still hot. Maybe those of you in Key Stage 2 can give that some thought, because it's rather strange if it's been away for all that time for it still to be warm. But I really do love that book, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a brilliant week this week on your new learning activities, and I'll be back tomorrow with another story. Thank you. Bye.